Alright everyone, my name is PureToxic, and welcome to, I guess, another interview here on DOSARP, Department of San Andreas, or Roleplay, I believe. And I'm here with two officers. It is Alexa and Jensen. Okay, gentlemen, I guess consider the interview open. Before I start ask any questions, if you have anything you want to say immediately.
Nope.
Should be alright for now.
Any questions you want to ask me? Or we can save that until afterwards, maybe.
Yeah, we'll save that till the end.
Okay, so I was not prepared for this interview, so I don't have many questions, I guess. But
it's all good.
I guess from your point of view, you can go like one at a time if you want to. But from your guys' point of view, how do you consider the current state of the server?
Alex, you can go first. Don't worry about it.
Alright. This server is amazing. I love it. I mean, it's the best server I've played. I've been on it since 2020. It's so fun. I've had a few ups and downs. I've had a few ups and downs myself, but now I'm here. I'm better than ever. Current state of the server is very, very good. We've had no issues, no problems. Things have been added daily. It's awesome. I'm done.
Are there any...
Well,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Anyway, I'd say the state of the server's pretty good right now, but like they're like pushing down on professionalism, make sure everyone's like staying in character and stuff now. Obviously trying to get rid of like the people who are just not role playing properly. But obviously I've been here since 2019, since I was 12, and I've actually enjoyed the server. A few ups and downs, like Alex said, but I feel like up to the state, it's getting alright, yeah. I'm done, sorry.
Alright, Alexa, is it?
Yeah.
You mentioned that there were a couple of ups and downs. Are there any particular ones, ups and downs, or either or, that stick out in your mind?
With the ups and downs, it's just, you know, the casual things you'd see in a roleplay server. The odd modder every like once a month. But we haven't seen one of those in a long, long time, actually.
Feel like actually to do with the server. Like LE's definitely not right now, obviously. They've been knuckling down on everything in the professionalism, sorry, and all that. Civilian side, I feel like maybe they need to add a few, I don't know, maybe more rules, outfits and stuff like that. I feel like it's not as serious with all people, like obviously new players. I feel like they don't know what they're exactly to do with the rules and stuff, so. And, you know, it involves some people getting kicked and stuff, and they don't actually know what reason for, you know. But yeah. I feel like maybe a few more updates on so would be nice.
So, obviously you guys are on the server as law enforcement officers. Is that your main type of focus on here?
Yeah, my main focus is law enforcement at the moment. I've been climbing up the ranks. So, yeah.
Yeah, same with me. I mainly just play law enforcement. To be honest, I haven't played civilian for about a month now, ever since I joined back.
Right, can I add something?
Click on.
Go ahead.
I believe the server needs to restart quickly to add some more outfits, so we can come back here if you want.
Alright.
Also.
When the server restarts, we'll meet back up. But
we'll meet at this exact location, 7129.
How about you, PureToxic? What do you mainly play? What role? Civilian, right?
Yeah, mainly civilian. I used to do a lot of law enforcement. I used to do a lot of law enforcement before, but now my focus is just civilian.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I've seen quite good roleplay from you, but...
Oh, thank you.
How come you left law enforcement?
I don't know, I just kind of got too lazy for the whole applying process.
Yeah.
I got a question.
I feel like it's a lot more fun with subdivisions.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I seen your YouTube and I'm a quite big fan. You know J&J's Misadventures is that on this server?
Yes, it is.
That's awesome, mate. Thank you very much.
No
yeah,
problem.
I watched the episode on what was it now?
I'm glad you liked it.
It's like a week ago, wasn't it? It was a story of your characters.
Yep, me and the monster
I
ball.
liked that one. It was very long, but it was actually quite interesting. Obviously, I didn't watch it all.
The video I found funny was things you never want to hear a pilot say. I've been watching it for quite a while, honestly.
Oh, I wasn't aware that I had fans here.
Yeah, but it's all good.
So we'll meet back up here after the restart then?
Yeah.
Okay, where did we leave off?
We went through the current state,
Current state,
our
yeah.
opinion, current state, and then we went through ups and downs,
Right.
what role we normally play.
Right. Oh yeah. I was gonna. My next question was gonna be, since you guys obviously, like you said, play as officers most of the time. And that way, you guys obviously most of the time come across the criminal aspect of civilian roleplay.
Yeah.
Are there any particular kind of calls that you guys get more often than not over, say, anything else?
See.
I would say most of the calls are involved with weapons, the criminal calls. Recently, we have had some criminal investigation calls where we have to investigate it even further and further, and get leads and stuff to get the suspect.
Yeah.
They've been interesting. They've been good.
To add on to that, yeah. I feel like there's been a lot of high priority scenes, which I don't mind. I don't mind because obviously I'm SWAT. Me and Alex both SWAT and we enjoy breaching buildings and stuff. But there's been a lot of 1080s, I guess, for like a simple like red light, like stop, like you just run a red light, it's only a small ticket, and like you're driving away from police officers, like it's not very realistic. That's just an example, and there's a lot of stuff like that. But we have also had like quite a lot of passive RP that's quite fun. It's normally the people that are higher up that are doing it. I've seen a few people doing it as well, like using the text screen. Are you aware of it, PureToxic?
The what screen?
I'll show you. So, for example, wait, how do you do it, Alex? How do you do it? /C.
/scene and then the text.
So, for example, you see like how it says blood on the floor?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a lot of use of that, and it's been like a lot more realistic and a lot more fun for us because we get to investigate stuff, and it just gets a lot more realistic,
I see.
Yeah. So you just do /scene and then you type in the text and you place it anywhere. So like blood trail on floor, it could be drugs on floor, it could be like clues for stuff. Or like just before you're about to do a scene, maybe add a few things in your house, like stolen TVs and stuff like that if you're doing a robbery. It just sets up the scene very well.
Okay, yeah, I think I've seen that around.
Yeah, it just makes scenes more detailed for officers, and yeah.
Yeah, I can see how that's useful.
Yeah. I'm ready for the next question.
So, about the, you said that most calls are like gun related or weapons related.
Yeah.
Are those, do they have a common trend? Like, is there something that happens more often? Like, for example, robbery at like a 24/7 or something that happens like consistently?
Well, we haven't actually got a lot of robberies recently. I've only just realised that we haven't got a lot of robberies. It's more like kidnapping scenes.
Gang wars. That's a big one right now.
Yeah,
the
gang
gang war one.
wars.
It's
Stabbing.
not very fun.
Stabbing and then escalating into shooting at officers and stuff like that.
Yeah. The gun-related scenes are normally either, you know, us trying to catch up in tennies or vehicle pursuits, they're coming out, running away, and then shooting all the officers, or from actual calls, it's normally gang wars. It's a bit boring, you know. I don't mind gun-related scenes, I actually find it very fun, as long as they're realistic and controlled. But when it's like a full-out gang war, it's not very fun, because it's very like hard to control the situation and just see what actually is happening. You just got people shooting all over the place, like up to like 7 people, all shooting each other.
Are there any particular types of scenes you guys would like to see less, and are there any scenes that you would like to see done more?
Alright, so I like to see more passive scenes, as I've been enjoying those a lot recently, and it gets a bit boring when you go to a shooting call, and then you go back 10-8 active, and then you get another shooting call, and then another shooting call, or something that needs priority, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, more passive scenes would be nice.
Do you have any
Yeah.
specific, like, specific scene in mind that you would like to see?
Investigation scenes, if you want it, like, get a bit specific, like, maybe murder scenes where you don't actually have to, well, maybe you have to trail up and try and find the person. So, like, for example, I believe Charlie just over there did one the other day. You, like, kill the body on a tennis court, and then obviously use the text.
Charlie gives us the main ones.
And, like, you know, cut up a tea. I did a few, like, little clues and stuff. We had to find out where it was, the weapons and all that. And then another, like, murder, and then eventually we found him. It just makes it a lot more fun, and it's passive. And he didn't, like, kill us or anything. We just arrested him.
Go ahead.
So I'd like to see more investigation scenes, as in law enforcement there is a new subdivision that got released today. It's called CID, Criminal Investigation Division. So it's that man over there is vice lead of it, but he's made the SOP, he's made the outfits, he's made pretty much everything. Our chief has just helped him run it, but he's the main guy. So Criminal Investigation Division has come out today, so it would be really nice to get some more investigation scenes and passive.
But then again, I also do like the robbery scenes when they're like actually like coordinated and good. And it's actually planned out, not like a shitty one when they've grabbed a hostage and just kill a hostage and then just fuck off. But like when it's actually a coordinated robbery, I actually do enjoy it. But yeah.
One thing that I have noticed while driving around, I think Monster Bull has noticed it as well, and I've heard from other civilians that it's happened that sometimes if they would speed past a police car that's maybe shooting radar, they would just end up getting completely ignored. The cop that might be on the side might be just not Netflixing per se, but maybe just straight up ignoring the potential that it's happening. Is that something that you guys see a lot in the police force, that cops, some are just not that interested in pursuing someone who's speeding?
So, we're always interested in 1080s and speed and that. Most of the time we do acknowledge them, but it's either a case of they've been cop baiting a lot before. So, most of it is they're trying to get our attention, so we don't give it to them, because that would come under the rule of cop baiting.
Yeah. Well, to add on to that, some cops, to be fair, I'd admit I've done it before. I was just very tired of 1080s because I was on it all day and I was doing 1080s all the time, and there was someone speeding past me. I don't know if they were cop baiting or not, but I didn't chase it. But I feel like the reason why some officers do it is because they get fed up of having to chase. And, you know, normally in 1080s it's quite actually easy to get away from us, as long as you've got a decently fast car. But I feel like that's why officers do it, and yeah, I have seen it. I was feeling myself once. I have drove past a cop, not on purpose, like gone pretty fast and not been pulled over, but there's multiple factors to why it can happen. You know, some people can be 10-6, like busy, not actually in the head, you know. Or they just really are fed up of it. But yeah.
So, the supervisors have also started noticing it, and they are knuckling down on it in the department. So it is happening less now.
Yeah.
Because some people just like to not pursue, but then put a bolo out. I've seen it myself. But other than that, they are knuckling down on it, so it will stop soon.
Yeah, that's another thing. Sometimes if you're getting chased and they just like fuck off, it's because they're probably setting like a bolo on you, like a warrant.
Yeah.
And if, for example, you're in a pursuit and we feel like it's dangerous, you're driving opposite lanes, you're putting other people in danger, we'll just call it off and then put a bolo on you and then try and get you later on in the day. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got a question from my friend the Monster Bull, who I play with often, who wanted to ask you guys something. You mentioned that you had both seen the podcast episode we uploaded on YouTube on my channel.
The one about both your characters, correct?
Yes, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Relating to that, is there something you would like to see us to particularly maybe try to do for an episode of that?
So, to do with your character, like, you mean like another video on YouTube on the server, or like
No, like something that me and him can do as our characters that we can like then afterwards turn into an episode for that. Because our process is we do something with our characters, then we take basically the whole thing, we write down a long script, and then we like off what happened, and then we read out the script. So
Right, so are your guys' characters supposed to be criminals or very passive people?
bit of both, I believe. One of them,
yeah.
what's the name? One of them had a bad upbringing. I'm correct. I don't watch it all in a little time, but when
So-
it first came out, I remember.
They're both two guys from another town, and they basically have run from state to state all across America, like trying to get away from petty crimes that they always end up committing.
Right, so you're planning on doing a criminal scene, so I can suggest a criminal scene. As Jensen did, he did a slash scene with the blood trail fall. It would be really interesting if you guys did some of those and
Like a
us
cool
investigate.
investigation of both of you. Maybe like fingerprints somewhere, so we know it's both of you. And we're like trying to follow up on you, trying to look for you, like a few little scenes, a few little 911 calls around houses, maybe doing burglaries or something, low on money. And then
And
you could
also-
like, talk about it, like you've got into a financial problem, you're both low on money, you're forced to maybe,
Go homeless.
yeah, maybe you could go homeless, maybe you have to rob houses and stuff and leave like scenes behind for the officers to try and track up and try and find you. Stuff like that would be quite fun.
That'll also
Alright.
be very interesting because of the new division, criminal investigation. So, yeah, that would be cool.
All right, I'll keep that in mind and let him know.
Alright.
Oh, while we're on that topic, we are actually working on the second episode currently. We have a rough sketch down for the next script. I don't know if y'all were part of the scene, but we ran up in Blaine County.
Yeah.
In some muscle car, I think.
Me and Alex were probably on, but how long ago was it? Roughly?
Maybe a week.
We're probably on, but the
We
amount
were
of scenes
probably
we
there
do,
because
Yeah.
we do like hundreds of scenes a day now because we're on like all day.
yeah, we were most likely there.
I'm trying to come up with more questions. I asked a lot on the first interview.
It's
all
fine,
good,
when we
bro.
can wait.
Are there any, like, maybe rule changes or regulation changes for the departments you guys are in that you think would be necessary?
Well, recently, obviously we've already said in previous questions, professionalism. If you've ever been, cops ever come to you like telling you to fuck off, like if you said something about, we've obviously now been told to just stop doing that. Even trying to defuse situations of civilians telling to fuck off and stuff. Don't just tell them to fuck off and stuff like that. Actually, stay professional. If Alex wants to add anything to that.
We had a thing about respect to higher ups, but I think we need to focus on higher ups respecting lower ranks also, not just one way.
Is that
That's all I can say.
is that an issue that has been happening before?
Yeah. There was a lot of unprofessionalism on scenes recently. And a bit of disrespect between other officers and stuff like that. But, for example, today, I'm not going to name any names, but there was an officer that disrespected another officer, and obviously he got given a verbal warning. And if he carried on, he would have got a 1090, which obviously is a warning. But stuff like that, just knocking down on disrespect, professionalism, making sure the officers are actually performing to a high standard and not obviously fucking about, just doing whatever they want, and actually make sure they enforce the law and not, fuck about.
Yeah, I just want to say, supervisors are bringing it up in every single briefing about this matter. So in every briefing they mention it to all officers in a strict way, as we don't want to be disrespecting people. So yeah.
I've noticed recently that there's been a lot more briefings than there used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that's been planned to happen more often?
So pretty much I would say there's been a major rise in activity recently. Not like when there used to be like the odd 1 or 2 briefings. 9 times out of 10 there was like not enough officers for a full briefing, because you don't really want to briefing with just 2 officers and 1 supervisor,
It's about 5 or 6 officers to do a briefing. And obviously they bring up the same points because obviously not everyone can make it to the same briefing. And we normally have about 1 a day. When we change, AOPs, LS, people do get a bit mad when we're in briefings because obviously peacetime's on. But we do try and be as quick as we can because we've got department updates to talk about, promotions, obviously the bigger promotions, what's going wrong in the department, what's going good in the department, how we can improve, what we're doing good obviously so far. And like I said before, the subdivision changes, and there's obviously 5 subdivisions now. But yeah, that's why the briefings might take quite long. But yeah.
I also want to add, in the past, I'd say 3 weeks, we've had a new sergeant called Charlie Henderson. He's been doing a lot of briefings which is really needed with the briefings and the current state of the department. So we need to knuckle down on things, and the sergeant's making sure of it. Most briefings have been hosted by himself, which I appreciate that.
Okay, so do you guys feel like the briefings are helping?
100%.
Yeah. I feel like I've definitely seen an increase in the professionalism. A lot of officers, me and myself as well, and Alex have both tried to be a lot more professional. Obviously, we always were professional on scenes, but the odd time we may not because we know the person's a civilian, but now we are pretty much 100% professional on scenes, and the only time we talk actually out of character is just between officers at the PD, and that's pushing it now. We just like to stay professional at all times now and make sure the scenes are correct and going well.
Most of the disrespect isn't towards civilians, it's between officers. Some officers like to bring out of character beef in character.
Yeah.
And then it's not really like a beef thing, but it's like the odd comment or 2 because they don't like you out of character, you know what I mean?
They don't like you as a person, so they will do stuff to you obviously in character as officer, but it's not too bad now. But another thing actually, let me quickly think, what was the sergeant bring up? It was about you just got off my mind. I'll try and think of it. Just carry on.
Alright, we'll come back to it when you think of it again. Fuck, I had a question. Oh yeah. I'm guessing it doesn't happen. This is not something that happens often, but but I don't know what you guys have seen. Do you ever notice other officers, or perhaps yourselves, like breaking traffic laws while driving around on patrol without having their emergency lights on? And if that happens, do officers at any point pull each other over for it? Is that something that's ever happened?
So, I don't do it myself, but I've seen officers do it, and almost 100% of the time when they do it, someone puts in the radio chat, which we have about it. Like if someone run a red light, we'd say in radio chat, there was a red light there or something, don't do it again. Stuff like that.
Well, to be honest, obviously I don't do it myself, me and Alex don't. We normally go to Union, patrol together, but we have seen officers in the past just driving around recklessly, obviously with no calls, nothing, no emergency lights, just driving around, ripping around through the red lights, and then as soon as you see someone else do it, they pull them over. It's a bit hypocritical. And obviously if civilians see them doing that, they just think it's unfair, and it's just obviously not right. Obviously it can be boring following traffic laws, and that's just me being honest, but you just gotta do it, just to stay professional.
Also, depending on the 911, we may have to respond code 1. So being code 1 allows us to still go through the depends on the situation. We're not actually supposed to go through them.
Sometimes, on very specific scenarios, you may see them going code 1, and if they are obviously going through red lights, going past, changing lanes and stuff, and overtaking, they should use a horn or a siren, like not a light, it's just a siren when going through crossing sections. But that's in some scenarios. Doesn't really happen there.
But yeah, it does happen running through red lights and stuff with no emergency lights.
I'm guessing that would be specific to something like maybe a bank robbery, where you don't want them to know that you're coming.
Yeah, stuff like that, bank robbery, that may happen. Or let's say
a hostage negotiation, perhaps.
Something like that, yeah.
Let's say we want to catch a suspect off guard, like we have a lead on the suspect, but if he hears our lights and sirens, he's just going to run straight away.
Yeah, sometimes we will say we're in code 3, but once we get near the scenario, we'll take our lights off or just take our sirens off so they don't actually know we've arrived.
Yeah.
Obviously the officers know we've arrived, we call it in, but just to catch them off guard and actually catch whoever we are going for.
Do you guys have any specific area of patrol that you prefer over another?
As in AOP?
Well, I guess that too, but I'm thinking more someplace that you guys just, like, let's say AOP is Los Santos. Mm-hmm. Do you guys have an area that you prefer to be in, or do you get assigned areas that you have to go to?
So, for example, let's say the AOP was LS. If there's enough officers, we don't really do it anymore. We used to. I haven't seen it recently. Obviously, we'll get assigned patrol zones, but me and Alex normally like to patrol around Vespucci because we are both PA, and we like. Well, that's another thing actually. We like to get boat calls. I want to see a bit more of them, people on boats, because we can respond to boat calls very easily. All it takes is just to spawn in a boat and then go. But personally, I prefer Vespucci. I feel like the interiors, and we can also go on bicycles. Have you ever seen us on bicycles? Sometimes. I don't actually like South LS though, because they got the gangs. It's very boring.
Yeah, when I see South LS, it's just gang, shoot, gang.
Oh,
yeah, constant call.
On that topic, are there certain scenes and scenarios that happen specific to the locations every time? Like if we've been in Blaine County for a while and we switch to South LS, is there something specific to South LS that often happens, or in other locations?
Gangs would like to
Grove
go
Street
around the area.
is just horrendous, obviously, because Grove Street is just known. So everyone goes there, groups up, wears the ballies, takes the top off, got all the tats, got the cars, different colour gangs. And then obviously we've got the interiors there, if you can see on the map, the gang houses. They like to go in the houses, make massive trap houses, and then just, instead of making phone calls with officers like to investigate and stuff, they just shoot out all the gangs. Someone will make a call, and then we have to stop the gang from shooting each other. We don't know who's against us, who's with us. It's just very messy scenes and doesn't really turn out right.
Yeah, I'll also add, there's like, people like to do different scenarios and different AOPs. It's just like, you just do it, I guess. Like West LS is like mostly the beach areas. We get pier calls, beach calls. Let's say East LS, which is Mirror Park. There's a lot of house interiors over there. People would like to rob houses, claim houses. The 24/7 that's there has been robbed about like 10 times from my experience. North LS, which is up Vinewood way. People would like to be like in Range Rovers, in like expensive cars.
Just a topic I'd like to bring up. Interfering with scenes can be very annoying for officers. Let's say we've got a bank robbery going or something. No, one second, I'm gonna get kicked out. There we go. Anyway, for example, yeah, we've got a bank robbery, and then suddenly someone comes in and just like hits an officer. I don't mind when people like walking across and like, you know, role playing like they didn't realize it's a bank robbery, and we obviously tell them to go away and they come back. It's just, it does not help at all. It's not realistic. If you were driving and you saw loads of police, you saw SWAT around a building, you're not going to go towards it and just walk through and start talking to the officers. You're just going to want to go, you know?
Yeah, so it's common that some civilians interfere in a bank robbery like that.
Yeah, but then
there can be some cases where it's fine though. Don't mind a bit of interfering, but not when it actually interferes the whole scene.
9 times out of 10, you just tell them once, leave the scene, and they'll just go. But there is, obviously, it's going to be the odd few that don't listen.
Yeah.
Oh, a little off topic maybe, but you brought up earlier about wanting to see more boat scenes. I actually have something for that I can do for you. A scene, quite a big one that will require investigation. That I haven't been able to use for a while.
Massive fun scene. Maybe just, obviously, I'll most likely be on if I'm not working or in college. And I'm guessing Alex will probably be on. As long as there's 2 PA officers, then we'll definitely be able to see the scene. Maybe if you, before you do a scene, just maybe like check out just like any PA on, and then do a boat scene. What type of scene were you think? Like an investigation boat scene, or?
It's kind of a big one. A big meaning. There's a lot of planning that has gone into it, and me and Monster have just not been able to do it at any point. And it is drug smuggling from
that would be fun.
From an island.
On a yacht, or like a bigger boat, or like a speedboat.
I'll get back to you on that one.
There's a few custom add-on boats that they've added in the files.
Yeah, there's a yacht. There's 2 yachts you can use, but I generally do like. Obviously, the yachts are already in the water because they are very big, and it's quite fun, you know, breaching it or searching for it, like the drugs and stuff, and smuggling.
Yeah, it's a big one too, because I have even mapped out on a bunch of different routes to locations in the sea.
Yeah,
and specific radio
play
channels.
Very well with, you know, obviously the Port Authority and the new subdivision, the crime investigation division, because as Port Authority we can, obviously no one else can transport to the yacht. Let's say for example SWAT needed, we transport SWAT. Let's say obviously the CID needed to investigate, or anyone else. But yeah, like K9s for example. I don't actually know if we can bring K9s aboard. Can we do that?
No, I don't believe so.
It's not actually a rule. I don't know if that's an broken rule.
No.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
But what I would say, if you want to do something really interesting and let the officers enjoy, wait until a lot of the officers are on. People can activate SWAT and PA, and criminal investigations, obviously. So wait until all of those are available, and then try and make a scene where they can activate PA, and they come to the boat or something. Then you run, go to a building or wherever, and then you make an hour one, and then SWAT come, which means 2 subdivisions of activate in one scene, which would be really interesting because we get to use our subdivisions a lot more.
The funnest scene I ever did was about 2 years ago. I don't know why I found it so funny, it's just because it was a SWAT and PA breach on a yacht. Obviously, it's a high priority scene, it's all of revolving guns, but there's about 6 people aboard, and obviously you might not be able to get 6 aboard. And you might want to just do like an investigation one, but there was 6 people on a yacht. It was a drug smuggling one, like you were on about, but obviously we knew they were armed to the teeth. And we got SWAT on the biggest boat on Port Authority, which is a whale. And we got about 7 SWAT members, and we all breached it, and it was quite fun. We had a few disappearing on jet skis, a few staying on the boat. We took a few down, a few escaped. And it was a messy scene, but it was fun because we kept it quite realistic.
I don't know how long we've been going now, but at least 40 minutes, I think.
Yeah,
so that's gonna be.
We can do whenever you want. We don't mind because we're doing a training eventually, I believe, for the new subdivision.
Yeah, you can go as long as you want.
Alright, it's just gonna be a bit of a pain in the ass for me to render.
Oh, it's all up to you, bro.
And I don't think I had any more questions right now.
That's fine.
I have a question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Will this be posted on YouTube?
It will, whenever I've gotten to render the whole thing.
Awesome.
Good to know, good to know.
Do you want our names or anything like that?
Oh yeah,
Would you like our officer names?
whatever you want. If you have anything to say before I end off the recording.
I am Jensen Berry.
Alex Davis. I'll put it in the chat.
Charlie Anderson, mate.
And then here is my dear old friend, Charlie Anderson.
As you can
I'd
see
just
it
like
in
to
the
finish
chat
it
there.
all up with servers in a great state right now. Activities rising. All the departments are rising. SCFI is slowly getting there, rising. Yeah, everything's going good recently. So yeah.
You have anything you want to add?
I'd
Me?
just like to say thanks for the interview as well.
You already interviewed me, boss man.
Yeah, I knew, but just thinking if you have anything to say.
Alright, no. Nothing.
Alright. Well, I'll let you guys know if I come up with any more questions in the future.
Yeah, we're for,
No
always
worries,
free to answer any questions.
Yeah, me and Jensen are pretty much on every day, all day. When we finish college and school and stuff, so just let us know if you need
Yeah,
help.
things I'm not working on pretty much on.
Alright, well, thanks for a great interview. It's nice to hear your side of the story, I guess, what you guys go through and your thoughts on things.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Likewise with you, mate.
I appreciate what you're doing for the server with your YouTube and stuff.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, just let us know if you got any more questions or anything. We'd be happy to answer.
Will do. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe while you're at it if you want to see more of my stuff. But until next time, have a great fucking day, and don't get arrested, because these guys will catch you.
Choke me